Alright, YouTube, today we will be talking about Ahri. Just like the Yasuo guide, tag stuff and fuses and all that stuff. It's gonna be at the end, okay? You know, there's gonna be chapters. You know how it is. Let's get into it. Alright, so with Ahri, I definitely would like to say Ahri is the most agile character in the game. I mean, just look at her, right? She has all these types of ways to dash around the screen. She has an air dash. You can, you can do this on the ground, right? Go up into the air, back to the ground. Most agile character. She is also a Rekka character. So, what is a Rekka? Rekka is essentially when you can do one special into another special to cancel it. That's essentially what it is. It's not too complicated, right? Simple understanding to it. It's just being able to do multiple specials into another special, essentially. Alright, now it's time for the pros and cons. So let me write this down. What are her pros? And just for the sake of space, I am going to just write these on the same line, alright? We'll use as much space. Best aerial movement. By far. Like, there's nobody better than her. Mind games with Rekkas. Right, it's crucial to have. Is she gonna do it? Is she not gonna do it? I don't know, you tell me. Very good with double down. I'll show why later, at the end of the video, or later in the video you'll see why she's good with double down. Great assist, right? Two very good assists. Again, I will show that later. I think she has one of the best supers, right? It's pretty good, pretty good. What are her cons? All right, I'm no longer gonna do brackets to separate this, but I will space these out. You know, you're smart, you'll understand. She has bad comeback factor by herself, very risky, right? Doesn't have anything too crazy. Range is okay on her buttons, and this is the big one, right? Has the lowest health in the game. She really does. She has, I think, 900. And just to put into perspective, Alawi and Braum have 1150. 900 is 900 health. That's what she has. It's on the lower end. Alright, I gotta do this once per video. You already know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, if you want to check out my stream, get some help, stick around for the gameplay, you know, twitch.tv/cloud_805. Come check it out. Streaming every day at the Alpha Lab. Gonna stream every day when the game's out. Come check it out. And as always, if you're confused by anything, put it in the comments. I'll do my best to get to it. Alright, awesome, great. Alright, great. Make sure you sub, like, comment too, yada yada yada. Moving on. So as mentioned earlier, Ahri's got some of the best air movement in the game. Now her backdash, you don't want to cancel it because look what happens. You cancel it, you don't really go anywhere. Right, you just let the whole thing rock, you know, and then you get the rhythm to start going faster. And then that's pretty much it for a ground movement. You can use S2 on the ground, but I highly advise against it because if your opponent blocks it, you can't do anything, right? You could try to use it as a baiting tool, you know, dash in, dash out, call and assist. Still risky, but it's an option, right? As well as you're able to use it into the air, so if you decide to go, oh, that's actually mad hard to do. It's kind of difficult to do before leaving the ground. That's actually mad hard to do. These devs are crazy. Ugh. Oh my lord. Okay, you could try to do this. Yeah, I think you have like 2 to 3 frames to do it. But if you could get it down, you know, great baiting tool, right? You dash in, out, you throw out your S1, which is what you can cancel your Rekka from. Oh my god, devs, please. Down forward S1 as well. Yeah, practice that. Highly recommend whiffing a button before you try this, unless you can get the timing down. But as you can see, a lot of ways to bait with her movement. She can be very tricky with her. Some of the best air movement in the game. Now let's move on to Ahri's regular attacks. Stand jab, crouching jab, which hits slow. She has a crouching medium that also hits slow. Stand medium. Decent range, but you know, it's no Braum, no Darius in any capacity. Stand heavy goes a little further, right? Again, just a heavy button, not too special. She does have a command normal with down forward medium. This is the chase for treating guard, and it gives you a hard knockdown on hit, just so you can see what it looks like. Boom, hard knockdown lets you do what you want. You could wait, cross up, you know, do whatever you want, right? Just be good. Be better than me. Oh, I can't time this. Alright, there we go. But you get the point, right? You can knock down, cross up with it, things like that. Then we have her anti-air, which isn't all that great. It just knocks your opponent down. You can hit buttons afterwards. You are actable, but you don't get a full combo, which is pretty bad. All these other characters get full combos off their anti-airs. What are you going to do? And then finally, her launcher, traditional just like everybody else, with down forward heavy. Next thing we have up for Ahri is her air buttons, right? Just like anybody else, they're all pretty standard across the board. The one unique thing she does have is downlight in the air. It gives you this move that hits pretty far low, or below her I should say. It also does hit behind her, or I guess behind the opponent when you jump over them. So it's just done by doing down and light when you're in the air. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You would use it for times like you land a heavy and then you air dash cancel her heavy, right? Just things like that. The last thing when it comes to Ahri's movement is she can air dash cancel moves in the air. So you hit a heavy, you can air dash cancel it. You hit down S2, you can air dash cancel it. Just once. You only get one. You only get one. And if you've already used it, you can't use it again. So use it or lose it. Now let's move on to all of Ahri's specials. She has S1 that throws out a projectile that you can hit again to chase down your opponent. Now, do be warned, if your opponent blocks this, they can punch you out of it if they guess correctly. So let's have you block. Oh, not at their first hit. Oh, too far. Yeah, so they could jab you out of it. You can delay it to bait the button, right? But if you do get hit, I warned you, okay? And everything post it can also get jabbed if you try to air dash after it hits or something like that. So just be careful with this button. But if it hits, one last thing to note about her S1 Rekka is if you find it too difficult to air dash cancel at the start, you can just hit S1 again for the combo. Just be warned that if you do the last hit of her Rekka, you will be punished. So make sure you only opt to do it for the combo. You're gonna have to air dash after the second hit otherwise. Now let's get on to Bubble Buddy, which is her down S1. She throws out a little orb that takes a little bit to activate, but it tracks your opponent. So if you find yourself full screen against your opponent, you can throw it out and then go in behind it. It's a safe way to approach. Just make sure you space yourself correctly. Or maybe you have your assist out in front of you and then you can throw it out, and it's going to be much harder for them to punish your assist. So kind of can bait and punish them with it. Let's move on to Ahri's S2 specials. So S2 is pretty cool because you can actually hit S1 out of it to cancel it. You can also do down S1. So this is a nice move to tag into, as she does a bunch of hits. And a little secret about this, so pay attention. If you didn't watch this part of the video, you're not going to know that I said this. So if you were to do this move, when an assist is out, you can hit down S1 even when she's no longer the point character to make her throw Bubble Buddy, or S1 to make her do the other projectile. So if you watched the video, congrats. Or if you watched this part, congrats. If you skipped ahead, sorry. Now when it comes to Ahri's down S2, she does this little leap attack that you can air dash cancel. Make sure you do crouching light when you air dash cancel this, because if you don't, your fastest move, which is going to be, you know, the crouching light, will whiff. You want to do your fastest move here for a couple reasons. One, so your opponent can't mash on you as easy. Two, it makes it harder for them to block this series, right? Double overhead, or you could just do single overhead into low for the mix-up opportunity here. And then her last grounded S2 special is the Firefox stuff that I showed you earlier, you know, where forward, back, you can cancel into one of your S1 buttons. So it's pretty useful to know, right? And again, doing the up direction ones, rather difficult on the ground, if I must say so myself. So yeah, good luck practicing that out there. Now let's talk about her air specials. You could do her Foxfire in the air as well. You cannot go up forward or up back with it, just as you cannot go down forward and down back with it on the ground, right? So it's a little unique. You also cannot cancel the ground one into any other Firefoxes. So once you land, that's it, you land. Then she has her S1 without any direction held, and then her down S1 that you want to dash behind. It is dash cancelable if it makes contact with the opponent. So again, let's say you're retreating, you throw it out, you're like, oh, this is gonna hit you, let me go in behind it. Just mix up the opportunity. Comboing in the air with Ahri can be a little tricky and on the ground, so you can keep it simple after a launch just by doing down forward S2, and if you're close enough to the corner, you can continue off of it. There's more advanced, I should say, combos that you could learn later, like this one, you know, but I wouldn't worry about something like this just yet. Just, you know, get the feel for it, learn how her moves work. Okay, now let's talk about Ahri's supers. Let's actually give myself some meter because I'm running dry right now. Your boy is thirsty over here. So down S1, she throws out an orb. It goes almost full screen. I believe it's like 90% of the screen. Yeah, it's almost full screen. Now the cool thing about this is if you hold down S1, it actually follows you twice, right? It doesn't go all the way from one side of the screen to the other, but you can jump over it. And then it explodes. Well, once it reaches a certain distance, it'll explode. And then we have Ahri's down S2, which you could actually influence a little bit. You can make it go forward. You can make it go, up forward or up down, depending on if you're in the air or not. So if your opponent's at a weird angle when you super, just make sure you follow them in that direction. Finally, I call this the Kiss of Death. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's just down S1, S2. And let me write these notes down so you guys don't get confused. Very simple little things, easy to forget. When it comes to tag launching Ahri in, you could just keep it simple and do S2 into your down S1 super. It's very simple, easy to do, nothing too complicated. Now, if you're closer to the corner, you could do down forward S2, which does give you the wall slump, where you could do a little bit more. You could probably do a grounded S2 into a special. Go to the lab, test it out. Let me write this down for you. Super simple, super easy. Now we can talk about Ahri's last stand. I think she may have one of the best last stands. There's Brahms, which I'll get into a Brahm guide, but this move, an almost full screen level 1 that gives you forever to do anything, is very scary. Unfortunately, you cannot control it, but you can hold it and it'll make her run. That's about it, but you can't make it go up or down like you can when it's Ahri. Very scary. Gives you, let's see, how much frame advantage? I can explain that to you. 193. You have about 3 seconds of advantage when it comes to this super. A little bit more than that, but to explain those numbers to you, 60 frames is 1 second. A simple explanation, don't dive too into it. You're not at that point yet. Now, how do we tag our teammate in? One of the simple ways that I showed earlier is simply by doing S2. 3 hits, gives you a little bit over a second to do whatever you want. You can go low, you can jump and go for the overhead. If you have a command overhead, you can do that. It's probably the easiest way to do it with Ahri. Now, once you get a feel for it, and you want to take it to the next step, you can throw out Bubble Buddy, like I like to call it. The difficult thing about it is you have to be doing a move with your point character and then do it with Ahri, or you'll get a special. So this is what it's going to look like if you mess up. You get bronze, command grab, and then you throw out Bubble Buddy, which isn't too bad because it stays on screen even if Braum gets hit. But if you're really good at it, or you get the timing down, you can do something like this. Oh, there we go. You throw out the heavy, you make her do Bubble Buddy. It's weird. It's more so awkward to do at first, but not really difficult. Now, what do we do when Ahri's in the back? So, this cool thing about one of her assists, her forward tag button, sorry, forgot what it was for a second. Her forward tag button makes her airborne. When you're on point, this is very unsafe. But when you tag, she can act freely. So you can immediately air dash cancel it, or cancel it before she hits the air or becomes airborne. you can go low. So get the timing down. Very good to use, very good for mix-up opportunities. You would do what, you know, a move with your point character and then try to mix them up afterwards. What fuses are good for Ahri? Let's jot this down. Okay, handshake or freestyle. Sorry, freestyle. It's always number one. It's always gonna be number one. But hardest to use, always gonna be the number one, right? You just get multiple chances to do stuff, you know. And then, you know, air dash in, button, whatever, mix up, experiment with it. Another good fuse for Ahri is double down. If you remember earlier, I mentioned how you can do down, down, S1, and you can hold it. So once it's thrown out, you can super to your other character, and the orb will protect you, right? The orb will have your back during that time. Or the hidden mechanic that they don't tell you about double down is you can tag immediately when it's thrown out. So you can get, you know, some mix-up shenanigans right there. It's very strong, very potent, especially because of Ahri's boomerang super. Ahri's S2 super is also pretty good. As you can see, it gives you a few opportunities for mix-ups depending on what character you use. You know, Yasuo can dash through, he can jump over, right? So just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. Now we have your fuse. If you saw my Yasuo guide, you know that I'm not really feeling this fuse, right? You get more damage and a dash cancel. That's it. The only good thing is both characters can use it, and you only get one dash cancel. You don't get it back until the next round. Now the other one, double assist. Oh mama, this is very good. You get 2 of these assists from Ahri. That is so strong to have. And remember, she hits from so far behind that she stays out of the danger zone while providing you cover and mix-ups. So I think she uses 3 fuses very well. Fury fuse, just by design, is not that great. Pulse fuse, you just smash auto combos. So double assist, very strong because of her safe assist. Safe long range assist. Now when it comes to Ahri's assist, she has back tag, a long range projectile that can keep her safe and let you jump in to do whatever you want. So let's say you're going in and your opponent's beating you up, right? Boom, boom. All right. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, messed it up. Oh, mess it up again. Don't look at me. Oh, well, you get the point. The jab may have whiffed, but there we go. Yeah, I got hit. Just kidding. I have my teammate backing me up. So it's very strong. Even if you make a mistake, Ahri can potentially clean it up for you. Then her forward assist, which is going to be great to tag into. It goes pretty far, right? You can call it back up, see what happens from there. On block, she bounces up to give you a mix-up opportunity, right? You can air dash cancel it. But on hit, the properties change a little bit. So when you get hit by this, she goes through the opponent. So boom, tag, get the pickup, yada yada yada, do whatever, you know. Boom, super simple combo. You got hit, you lost 35-40% of your health. Alright, that's it. We are done with the Ahri guide. I have covered what she can do, how she can do it, what her strengths are, what she's bad at, all that good stuff, okay? I appreciate you guys watching as always. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out the content and supporting, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh yeah, you know, questions, comments, concerns, put those bad boys down here. You know, I'll do my best to get to any questions you guys have. And thanks for watching. Pull up to the stream. Bye!